Do you remember him? He is Syed Akbaruddin, the one who demolished fake Pakistani propaganda over the abrogation of Article 370 of the Constitution of India during a press conference. He was then India's ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations. Akbaruddin is now a retired diplomat. He now serves as a dean at Kautilya School of Public Policy. But there is one thing that hasn't changed. He is still just as enthusiastic about busting fake propaganda against India as he was during his service days. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tribhuvan, and in this video I will tell you how Syed Akbaruddin demolished New York Times' hollow claims on their shoddy Pegasus report. Let's begin. The entire left liberal ecosystem in the country has been constantly trying to corner the Modi government with one issue: Pegasus software and uncorroborated snooping allegations. When it comes to propaganda against India, NYT somehow always ends up becoming a part of the entire process. This time an NYT report on the matter turned out to be so abominable that it has been condemned by none other than ex-diplomat Syed Akbaruddin. In its report titled "The Battle for the World's Most Powerful Cyber Weapon," NYT stated, through the Israeli government's oversight was meant to prevent the powerful spyware from being used in repressive ways, Pegasus has been sold to Poland, Hungary and India, despite those countries' questionable records on human rights. Now NYT is used to making such ridiculous, misleading remarks against India, so one doesn't care. But the American newspaper also stated in July 2017, Narendra Modi, who won office on the platform of Hindu nationalism, became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Israel. For decades, India had maintained a policy of what it is called commitment to the Palestinian cause, and the relations with Israel were frosty. The Modi visit, however, was notably cordial, complete with a carefully staged moment of him and Prime Minister Netanyahu walking together barefoot on a local beach. They had a reason for the warm feelings. Their countries had agreed on the sale of a package of sophisticated weapons and intelligence gear worth roughly $2 billion, with Pegasus and a missile system as the centerpieces. It added, months later, Netanyahu made a rare state visit to India, and in June 2019, India voted in support of Israel at the UN's Economic and Social Council to deny observer status to a Palestinian human rights organization, a first for the nation. The use of conjectures is perplexing here. The newspaper connected PM Modi's Israel visit with a make-believe spyware deal and former Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's India visit to a vote at the United Nations. Syed Akbaruddin himself came out to call a spade a spade. Without mincing any words about the NYT report, he said the insinuation about India's UN vote is utter rubbish. Appearing on NDTV, Akbaruddin said that there was no link between the $2 billion India-Israel deal that NYT claims to have involved Pegasus spyware and India's vote at the United Nations. The former Indian ambassador and permanent representative to the UN said that the vote was a low-level issue. He also said that no one from New Delhi, Israel or Palestine contacted the Indian mission in the New York at the time of the vote in 2019. Akbaruddin said, our ties had improved. There is no doubt about that. It was visible to everybody at the UN. I have written in my book that Israel endorsed an Indian judge to the ICJ, International Court of Justice. This was in 2017. This was open knowledge that our ties were warming up. Where interests coincide, certainly states will work together. I don't think there is anything to hide about it. I don't think that's a linkage. I must say the New York Times on this thing erred egregiously. He added, it was a rather mundane case of a Palestinian NGO, and initially everybody didn't have a problem with it. At that time, several countries came out and said they had found some linkage which were not highlighted by the NGO during the initial submission. Akbaruddin, who hasn't lost the art of using diplomatic flair to counter propaganda, also said, I am a little surprised that the New York Times picks up a disparate vote on a small NGO and links it to a bigger story. I have no idea about the bigger story. I was the permanent representative in New York. The Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections are just 10 days away now. The left liberal ecosystem is therefore desperate to find something against PM Modi. Pegasus snooping allegations have been central to the Modi-hating cabal for quite some time. But the propaganda surrounding the matter falls flat on its face time and again. It has become something like the Rafale issue, which was the only thing that PM Modi's opponent could talk about before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, but could never prove any wrongdoing in the matter. The Pegasus spyware allegations too seem baseless. There is absolutely no proof that the government was spying upon journalists and politicians. And to link Indo-Israel friendship with snooping allegations is a big mistake. People of India love Israel because Israel has always respected and cooperated with India. The outdated diplomatic policy of showing commitment to the Palestinian cause wasn't very popular anyway. The Pegasus spyware allegations have fallen flat on their face again and are all set to turn counterproductive for the opposition. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to TFI English. Also hit the bell icon to receive all the recent updates. This is Tribhuvan signing off until the next one.